Psych. All right, we can chop it up, but we're live.
We are live.
Yep.
All right, guys.
And we're not going to really see anybody jump on here probably for a couple seconds anyway, because it takes a minute. But this is neat. We can see comments and add them up to the screen. So hopefully we'll get somebody jump on. It'll pop up right there. And before we do this, I'm going to edit this anyway. Let's add some text. What do you think? Maybe do...
Yeah, but with the eCam, though, you can add a bunch of different ones, and then you can click between them. You know that?
Yeah, no, on and off?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Green it up. Darker green. Nice.
Where is it at?
I don't know.
Where is it at?
Just go to green and then move that over.
Oh, yeah.
This is good video right here for
Yeah, isn't
everyone
this?
watching.
If anyone's
People
watching,
love it when you're just
yeah,
sitting
no one's
there,
watching right here, though.
blank face, staring at the screen, dicking around on your computer. That's cool.
Hey, that looks good, don't you think?
Yeah.
I like it. All right, let's jump in. You ready to get started?
Let's do it.
We're going live. We're live anyway, so.
Yeah. Should we do
All
an
right, let's do an
intro, or
intro.
are we already
Yeah,
live?
baby, let's do it. All right, guys, welcome back to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. I am your host, David Dye, with my co-host, Mr. Mike Slane. Mike, how are we doing today, sir?
We are doing good, Dave. We're doing really good, man. It's actually sunny out.
It's hot.
It's beautiful, though.
Oh, shit. It is hot, but it is nice.
It's been raining for, what, it feels like we live in the rainforest or something right now.
Man, it is hot.
What, you know what they say, those May showers bring the June flowers? I don't know what's going on with the weather, dude.
That's how I feel like it is this year,
Freaking
man.
crazy. It's been raining so much. Our grass is growing. Like, it's late, but whatever. So it's beautiful out today. I'm feeling good. I'm excited to be in here recording. I'm excited. We've got some projects going again. Businesses seem to be opening up. There's more people out. So life is good for me, man. How is your world, Dave?
Things are going good, man.
Good.
We're running lots of appointments right now for wholesale.
Mm-hmm.
Things are going good. We are we're doing marketing at just like we normally would. We haven't slowed down any bit on the marketing front, which is great. And
why would we?
Why would we? Yeah, and I'm excited, man. We have a lot of positive relationships that we have built over the last 6 to 8 weeks with people that have a lot of uncertainty. You know, their motivation was maybe medium to medium high. It wasn't like extreme, which is where we want to be. You know. And but we built a massive follow-up list over the last 6, 7, 8 weeks, and now is when we're starting to really hit that list with, hey, stores are opening back up. Hopefully your uncertainty is starting to settle. Let's move forward with getting this house under contract. And in the last, in the last 3 or 4 days, I think we've gotten 4 contracts.
Awesome.
So we're doing really good. Yeah,
awesome.
We're doing really good. So some of our students are having some successes right now as well, Mike.
Yeah,
We've had a couple projects or a couple properties go under contract just over the last 3-4 days too with the student front. So yeah, things are starting to come back. I'm really feeling positive.
Dude, I'm excited. I hope the rest of the world is too. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's so much division in everything. I just hope that everyone is just like, well, let's go ahead and rebuild things a little bit better.
Yeah, and I'm feeling really positive about it, honestly. So this is good. So today, on this podcast episode, guys, we are going to be talking about... Go ahead.
We're going to debate. We're going to debate today. Well, we both agree probably on everything, so it's going to be hard to debate.
Maybe not, though. But yeah, let's talk about it.
We're going to debate what is better to start with. Is it better to start investing in real estate?
Looks like our TV's crooked.
Using the BRRRR? It is crooked. It's terrible.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's all right. Using the BRRRR method, or should you start investing in real estate wholesaling? So what's the better way to start investing in real estate? Wholesaling or BRRRR method?
Let's debate. So a lot of people don't want to deal with motivated sellers and marketing.
Let's have you be, obviously, the wholesale guy.
Okay.
I'll be the BRRRR guy.
Okay, I like this style.
Let's start with a quick definition of each.
Okay.
And then let's get into some reasons why.
I can get used to this.
All right, so Dave, what is wholesaling? Sum it up in 2 minutes or less. That's your new goal.
It's going to be tough, man.
2 minutes. You get 2 minutes or less.
Okay, so wholesaling, sum it up in 2 minutes or less. Wholesaling is marketing to motivated sellers, securing properties with a contract, and taking that contract, that paperwork, and selling it to an investor of some sort and making a spread off of the sale. We trade convenience for a discount and solve problems. At the end of the day, we are just liquidity makers to real estate. We offer people the convenience of quick cash as is, and that's it. And again, wholesaling is nothing more than putting a property under contract, so securing it, and then taking that contract and selling the contract. And there's lots of ways to do that. We're not going to get into that, but the simplest way to describe it will be to secure a property with the contract and to sell that contract for a profit.
Excellent. Okay, so the BRRRR strategy, what is the BRRRR strategy? It is a method to acquire rental properties that utilizes little to none of your own money, or it can utilize little to none of your own money. It allows you to acquire rental properties with almost nothing out of pocket. So how do you do that? You buy it, and you can buy it multiple different ways. So how would you do it with no money if you're just starting out? You would find a private investor or a hard money lender. They would lend money, you would buy a house. Then you would rehab the property, you would rent it out, you would refinance it, so then you paid back that loan that you got to buy the property initially. You pay it all back, you get any money that you put into it back, and then you repeat, you do it over. So your value that you're adding is you're taking a crummy house and you're fixing it up. So you're fixing up the neighborhood, you are providing a nice rental property for a family to live in. That's your value add there, is making a crappy house pretty nice and getting a new rental on the market. So that's what the BRRRR method entails. So again, I think the value add is making a nice property for someone to live in and rent. Mm-hmm. So you're
acquiring a property with little to no money. That's
exactly
the thing. And you're able to turn it over and do it over and over again.
Exactly. So Dave and I have done that almost 100 times together. Mm-hmm. We're pretty well versed in it, and so that's what BRRRR is. So now let's
talk about pros and cons.
Let's
or what are you thinking?
Let's debate which one is better for a new investor to start in. And Dave and I feel like we've consistently said we always think wholesaling is the way to go.
I do,
and that's why I wanted to talk about this.
Sure.
So Dave, why would you say wholesaling properties is better to start with?
Okay, so I'm going to take the wholesaling side. You're going to take the BRRRR side. So let's really make this a debate. You can't BRRRR a property without getting a discount on it. Now, I shouldn't say can't. You can, but it makes it very difficult, meaning that you are going to have to add so much value with the rehab alone that you're going to be able to basically get 20 to 25% equity in the property. If you have a discount when you're buying it, it's very easy to get there, right? Mm-hmm. Because you don't have to add as much. Mm-hmm. So getting a discount on a property is really kind of the hidden, one of 3 or 4 things that are kind of hidden with the BRRRR strategy. So I love the BRRRR strategy. I'm a huge proponent of it. It's one of my favorite things out there, right? But
it's magic.
It's magic. It's real estate. It's wealth creation magic.
Awesome.
However, you have to be able to buy at a discount. Now, can you get a property on the MLS a discount? Yeah. Can you get a property through a wholesaler discount? Yeah. But it's not going to be the same discount you would get if you were direct to the seller. So I'm a proponent of both, so it's hard for me to take a side. But I would say start with wholesaling for sake of conversation and podcast and YouTube, because it's going to teach you how to find properties at a discount via marketing. So learn how to market. And wholesaling is a means to an end for me, probably you too. BRRRR is the goal, but wholesaling is just a way to find the deals. And then we have a cool motto here at the office: keep the best, sell the rest. So all the leads that come in, you're not just throwing away. If you're just working on BRRRR, you're going to be walking away from a lot of deals that you could make money on if you're negotiating with the seller, but you just can't get it right. You're close. Somebody else might find that to be overly valued and pay you for it, right? So
here is where I would say you want to start with BRRRR.
Let's hear it.
So my argument is going to be, Dave, wholesaling is overwhelmingly complicated for a new student. To go out and to start marketing for properties, to spend thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, I'm being ridiculous, on marketing, to not know what you're doing, to have people calling you and not know that you're able to buy it and close it and find a seller. It's just there's too many unknowns in wholesaling. Whereas with BRRRR, all you have to do is go work with a hard money lender, and hell, they'll even line you up with other wholesalers and deals a lot of times. I know that one of our partners here does that.
This is true.
So it's easier. That is my reason.
Okay.
Again, it's easier to get started
I get that.
with the BRRRR method.
I see that point of view.
You also, in the current market, Dave, would you say the market has been trending up?
Well, it has up until about 6 months ago.
Excluding the corona.
Or three months ago. It's I wouldn't say it's even trending down, but it's just kind of still.
It's stagnant.
It's stag. If not,
we don't know right now.
Yeah, we don't know.
Honestly.
It's too early, but lightly down, but not anything to be panicked about.
So my point is, in a hot market, the biggest value that wholesalers add is liquidity, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would argue that it's not that valuable in a market that's trending upwards. You've got a lot of people that want to buy properties and a lot of people that want to get into real estate and invest when markets are going up. So I think that the BRRRR investment strategy is easier because you can pay a little bit more. The wholesaler is able to pay a little bit more.
Got it.
What say you?
Okay. Hey, those are great points. I can't really disagree with any of them. They're all valid. So I got more points to throw at you, bro.
Give it to me.
Let's
Give
go.
it to me.
Okay.
All right. Let's
so
I like this. Is fun.
Yeah, that's good. So with the BRRRR strategy, you have to have your ducks in a row. So it's difficult for a new person to not only negotiate on a property and let's hope they get a slight discount, but maybe not. But then they have to deal with fixing it up in a general contractor, right? And a lot of people get burned with general contractors. They don't know what they're doing. People make promises. They don't know how to pay them. They don't know how to negotiate with them. They don't know how to write up a contract with them. It's an added layer of complexity. So I don't want to throw too much at you, Mike, but the point of, I think, my argument this go around, this counterpoint. This counterpoint.
We're not seasoned debaters.
Yes, is that the complexity is deep. So I named one. I'll name one or two more real quick though, right? So you have to deal with the contractors and you have to get the property fixed up and get that entrepreneurial credit, which means you have to spend 15 to 20 grand typically on it. Next, you have to lease it out. And if you're not good with people or leasing, that may be a big problem. If you hire a property management company, that's great, but you still have to manage them. There's a lot of shitty property managers out there. More shitty ones than good ones. 10 times more. And then the third point, that was number 2. So complexity by rehab, complexity by leasing. And then number 3, the most important one of all, is if you aren't pre-qualified with a bank, all that work is going to leave you to between a rock and a tight place, right? You're going to be stuck. So if you're listening and you want to do BRRRR, I highly encourage you to do it, right? Counterintuitive to my point. But get your ducks in a row. So I think the point was just that there's
complexity.
A lot of complexity.
So Dave, I agree with you on complexity, and you probably have the most powerful argument in that third point, which is the pre-qualification. Mm-hmm. Guys, if you are not pre-qualified to refinance the property at the end of the BRRRR process,
it really should be Arbor.
Yeah, it is. Well,
with the R there and there, 2 R's for that.
We call
always
it PBRRR
right
in our book.
Right.
So we said pre-qualified.
There you go.
Was the most important
PBRRR.
thing.
Yep.
It's PBRRR. So so that is probably the biggest nail in my coffin.
It's not a deal breaker.
No, by any means it's not. So again, guys, you just have to have your ducks in a row. So BRRRR is slightly complicated, and there is a little bit more risk, I would say, on the investor's plate, because you are actually putting money out there. You're saying, hey, I'm good for this money. You're either to a hard money lender, or it's all your cash invested into one. So that is an issue.
Yeah, it makes it a little challenging.
So there is complexity to it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that wholesale's better. So dealing with contractors, Dave, you mentioned that was a complexity, as well as dealing with property managers or leasing it out. Wholesalers have to deal with people too. Wholesalers have to deal with complicated sellers and these sellers' problems.
One could argue it's more complicated.
One could argue it's more complicated.
One could argue it's more complicated.
That is my.
We need the sound effects for that.
You got them?
No, but you are right. You are absolutely right.
So the complexity, I think that you are right. There's more risk on the part of the BRRRR investor. But if you are more analytical minded, I think that BRRRR might align with your personality better than wholesale.
All right, I get it.
That's my point. So why is BRRRR better?
Okay.
My argument now would be that BRRRR is better because wholesaling is a job. If I wholesale 10 properties in a year, I may have, say, like I get $10,000 per wholesale. If I wholesale 10 properties in a year and I make $100,000, guess what I have at the end of the year? Whatever I didn't spend. If I BRRRR 10 properties and at the end of the year I've acquired, let's just say $10,000 in equity in each of those properties, so not even a really high number, and I'm cash flowing, let's just call it $300 a month. Guess what I have at the end of the year? I've got $100,000 in equity and $3,000 a month for as long as I own those properties. What say you, Dave?
It's a good argument. Okay, so what's the point though for this comeback here?
Wholesaling's a job.
It's a job. Okay.
Whereas the BRRRR is an investment.
Okay. Do not argue. Or I cannot argue with those points.
So why is wholesale better then?
Okay, I will tell you right now.
There you go.
So wholesaling is a job, right? I agreed. It is simple but not easy. We say that lots of times in the book and on this podcast. However, you do not have to have good credit to wholesale. And you do not have to have much money. So, here's the cool thing about wholesaling, and it's similar with BRRRR. It actually is. You are able to acquire the property with the contract. You're not really buying it, but you are controlling it. That's the word I'm looking for. You are able to control a property with the contract and sell it. You don't have to buy that house. It's just the contract. The cost isn't in controlling, it's in marketing. So you will have an expense. When people say little to no money, well, that's true. If you get a referral and you had zero cost to market, you can acquire a property and or wholesale it for no money. But if you are new to this game, you are going to have to spend time, you are going to have to spend money to market to get the deal. Mm-hmm. Similarly, on the BRRRR side, you can get 100% financing through a private lender or a hard money lender some of the time. Not all the time. If it's a great deal, then they'll probably do that for you. So you can get into these both. However, with the hard money or private lender on the BRRRR side, they will not lend you if you have a 350 credit score. You can buy marketing with any credit score. They don't look at that when you spend money to send mailers or bandit signs or get on the radio. So my point is it's better to wholesale in the beginning because you may not even qualify to do BRRRR. So start learning how to market to motivated sellers now. Do not delay. Don't sit around and wait for your credit to become 800 because it's most likely not going to happen. And we all know that action trumps everything. So start marketing to motivated sellers. It's a means to an end. If you don't want to be a wholesaler, don't be a wholesaler. be a landlord, but you still should market to motivated sellers. And then why wouldn't you wholesale the deals that you don't personally want to keep? So I don't know what my exact point is, but I guess it would be credit.
It's hard to argue against a point if you don't have one.
I know, that's straight. That's a good point.
It's a great tactic. It's a great tactic.
But one could say that if you don't have good credit, that's it, you know, that you can't do BRRRR. And we both will agree that just because you can't do something doesn't mean that you shouldn't take action elsewhere, right? So if you aren't pre-qualified, or, you know, you might not even be able to qualify for the hard money lender, let alone the refi. So there's, again, another layer of complexity.
So I'm going to go ahead and jump in here. So it's the pre-qualified, and I've had that as an issue. People have reached out to me, and I've helped them with that as well. Mm-hmm. So it's very easy to say, oh, you're not pre-qualified, let's teach you how to wholesale. Because I'll tell you what, Dave and I like that. We love wholesaling, and I don't disagree with Dave. But what I would say is, if your credit is not worthy, you can find a cosigner.
It's true.
You can get qualified to finance property.
Oh, shit.
Your bad credit is not holding you back from the BRRRR method.
I did that in college. On my first 3 houses, I had cosigners. I borrowed the 20%. I did not. So that's the funny thing is I started BRRRR. Mm-hmm. Like, not me personally, but with it, right?
Right.
I started with it unknowingly until 10 years later, which is kind of funny. It was a slower process. Well, the refi wasn't a zero-sum game. It was a leave 20, 30 grand in it that I had to pay back. But it was the same concept, though. Repeat.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's like the new term house hacking, Dave. I didn't realize that's what I did.
We all did that.
My first house, I house hacked.
You did with 4 units. I did it with a 4-bedroom.
Yeah. I mean,
same thing.
You just don't know. Mm-hmm. And these terms they come out and they're buzzwords, and it's great. Yeah, so that was kind of fun. I like that. I don't know if you have any other points or counterpoints you want to try to go back and forth.
We hit on most of the things, really. I mean, there's really no right answer, and that's kind of the point.
There isn't, and I think that it speaks to the fact that if your personality, and I think this is true, Dave is a little bit he's a little bit more outgoing than I am. I'm a little bit more quiet and a little bit more analytical. Not to say Dave is not, or that I'm smarter than Dave.
Sure, no, not at all. Same thing, yeah. Just different type of personality.
Just different personalities, yeah. And I think that different types of investing speak to those people, and whatever suits you the most makes the most sense. To Dave's point about wholesaling, though, it is extremely important to have that in your business, because Dave's right. We're going to come across deals that don't make sense for us, but why would you not try to wholesale it and make some money on it if you've got a great lead on a property?
There's this thing about wholesaling where it's like you work really, really hard and then you like get lucky, but I don't even believe in luck, right? It's just experience. And now we get deals handed to us that we say, okay, this could be a great rental, but maybe our cash flow this month is tight. And we can literally make 1 or 2 phone calls to get 5 or 10 extra thousand in the door. So it's like shielding that from all of our listeners and viewers, like, you know what I'm saying, telling them to not get to that point would be such a disservice. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Now, you ain't gonna get there tomorrow if you're starting today. Sorry, it's not gonna happen. It takes time. Experience is what gets you there, right? But I think the main thing is like, regardless of what you decide to go with, start picking up a book, listen to the podcasts like this, do things to learn more about both. And if you can't get pre-qualified and or qualified, for the hard money and or the bank financing, don't just sit on the sidelines. Start calling people, start building relationships to get there.
That said, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Right. Let's put that foundation in place.
Yeah, start now. A no isn't no. It's not yet, especially with the bank. I love this point. I just did chapter 20 the other day and I was talking just all about this. No isn't no. It's not yet with the bank. So use the bank as your coach. Like, literally a free financial coach. They don't even teach you this shit in high school.
They don't teach you this anywhere.
Anywhere, right? But you can walk into a bank and say, hey, I need a loan, and they're going to say, nope, or they're going to say, yeah. It's going to be one of the two. But when they say no, they're not going to be like, get out, I need to ask you to leave. No, they're going to say, here's why. So use that information. Pick the brains of the banker.
Right. If they don't tell you why, ask why, and
why.
go back and say, what can I do to get this loan approved?
And you know what? There's like these federal guidelines that basically you cannot get denied a loan if you meet them. So it's not like they're like, we don't like that you're short or that you are, brown or black or white or yellow.
Fat and pasty.
Yeah.
Doesn't
none
matter.
of that matters.
Yeah.
Female, male, IQ, none of it matters. What matters is that you meet the minimum guidelines, and then they literally have to lend to you.
Pretty much.
I mean, it's the law, right?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, use the bankers as your coaches. Figure out exactly what you need to do. Is it a debt-to-income ratio that needs to be fixed? Is it bad credit? Is it late bills? Is it too much credit? Whatever. I'm probably leaving 30 things out. Whatever it might be, figure out what they need to see on your paperwork that you're going to submit to them and fix it. Work on it.
Yeah, it's easy, guys.
Simple.
Again, just get your credit fixed so you can go get houses. I mean, the wholesaling is a means to an end. It's a great job. We love it. Mm-hmm. It's a great way to make some big paychecks. But our end game is rental properties.
That's right.
Is the passive income.
That's right. So if you guys want to learn how to do either, we highly encourage you to learn both, really.
We've got what we consider pretty good courses on both. I think we mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, the intro, right, is the free wholesalecourse.com.
To learn how to wholesale.
We mention that all the time. We probably need to start adding in the free landlordcourse.com. We created that one as well.
You need to add little things right here, Mike, to pop up.
Ooh, I love it.
It's a good idea. All right,
yeah,
cool.
because we've had so much good feedback on the free wholesale course. We made the free landlord course, put a ton of nuggets in there to...
We're working on building them all. I was going to add a video that I just did yesterday to the cash buyer section of the free course. So I'm constantly tweaking videos, making more, adding more. I mean, it's essentially, both of these, in my opinion, are the best courses that are free anywhere online for these topics.
Absolutely. I think we were one of the first to really assemble free courses. I think that's how we got the domains. But we were the first to assemble
started that 5 years ago.
Free courses on these things. So again, guys, we appreciate all the feedback we've had on the existing courses. We'd love for you guys to go check them out when you have a chance. And let us know what you think.
Freewholesalecourse.com, freelandlordcourse.com. That was fun debate. Let's do that again.
Yeah, I like that one. That was fun.
Yeah, it was good. All right, guys, signing off.